Hello, welcome back to the BTG channel. Today, we're diving deep into the heart-wrenching and high-stakes drama set to unfold in the next episode of Beyond the Gates, following the seismic shifts of Friday's cliffhangers. The episode airing on Monday, January 12, 2026, promises to be an emotional hurricane sweeping through Fairmont Crest. Spoilers for Monday indicate that you should have your tissues ready as the Dupree family faces their most grueling challenges yet. 1. Nicole's genetic sentence. When fear becomes reality. As the sun rises on Monday, the atmosphere at the Dupree estate will be thick with a suffocating tension. Spoilers for Monday reveal that after agonizing hours of waiting, Nicole must finally confront a brutal reality. Her test results confirm the presence of the cancer genetic marker, a nightmare the family has been desperately trying to wake up from. We will witness a side of Nicole we've never seen. The usually uncheckable woman is now our soul in fragments. Spoilers for Monday show her grappling with the existential weight of the news, asking the age-old question, why me? The scene where Nicole looks in the mirror, wondering if her own body has betrayed her, will be one of the most haunting moments of the series. Meanwhile, Dani, despite receiving more favorable news, or at least not being in immediate peril, finds herself drowning in survivor's guilt. Spoilers for Monday predict Dani will try her best to comfort her sister, but her very presence may inadvertently deepen Nicole's pain. This isn't just a medical update. It's a total redefinition of Nicole's identity. 2. Katherine's rebellion and the family schism. While Nicole is drowning in sorrow, Katherine uses the path of total defiance. Spoilers for Monday emphasize that Cott will adamantly refuse to undergo any genetic testing, despite the tearful pleas of her sisters. She views the test not as a tool for health, but as a premature death sentence, preferring to live in blissful ignorance rather than constant shadow. Cott's stubbornness will ignite a firestorm in the Dupree living room this Monday. Spoilers for Monday highlight a fierce confrontation between Dani and Cott. Dani accuses Cott of being selfish and irresponsible regarding her future. Cott lashes out, claiming her sisters are trying to control her life through fear-mongering. This conflict threatens to push the sisters' bond to a breaking point. Spoilers for Monday suggest that Cott might even storm out, leaving a gaping wound in the family unit at the exact moment they need to be most united. 3. Anita steps into the battle of her life. In the middle of her daughter's storm, Anita begins the grueling first steps of her medical treatment. Spoilers for Monday describe a poignant scene of Anita sitting in the chemotherapy chair, a visual that stands in stark contrast to her usual regal and powerful presence. Tamara Tunie is expected to deliver a powerhouse performance, capturing both physical vulnerability and an unbreakable spirit. Spoilers for Monday reveal that the treatment is far from easy. The first wave of side effects begins to take a toll, leaving Anita physically drained. However, instead of surrendering, she uses her remaining strength to try and bridge the gap between her warring daughters. There is a moving moment where Anita reaches for Vernon's hand, reminding him that the Duprees have weathered many storms, and this will be no different. Spoilers for Monday forecast that Anita will remain the emotional anchor, even as her own strength wanes. 4. Vernon and the shocking bad news. If you thought Anita's illness was the only trial for Vernon, think again. Spoilers for Monday reveal that Vernon is set to receive a secondary shock news that could involve a professional crisis or a long-buried family secret. This bad news from Martin doesn't just threaten his finances. It threatens the very reputation he has spent decades building in Fairmont Crest. Standing by his wife's bedside, Vernon must maintain a stoic facade, but inside, he is crumbling. Spoilers for Monday show that Andre will be the first to sense Vernon's instability. A brief but heavy conversation in the hospital hallway will hint at the burden Vernon is carrying. He may be forced to make a difficult ethical choice this Monday, protect his family from this new, shadowy threat. Spoilers for Monday pose the question, how much more can one man carry before he finally breaks? 5. Sparks of romance amidst the ashes. Despite the somber clouds, Beyond the Gates continues to weave in threads of passion. Spoilers for Monday predict a significant leap forward for Leslie and Detective Marcel Malone. Their professional proximity is rapidly turning into a deep soul-level connection. Spoilers for Monday hint that a surprise moment of intimacy, or a long-awaited kiss, might finally happen, officially blurring the lines between friendship and something more. Additionally, the young couple Eva and Isaiah will share some tender moments. Spoilers for Monday show Isaiah stepping up as Eva's emotional rock while she worries about her grandmother Anita. His sincerity will deeply move Eva, though their budding romance faces the backdrop of family tragedy. Spoilers for Monday also remind us of Ashley Morgan, who is about to cross paths with a mysterious new character played by Jordi Vilasuso. This new nurse's arrival on Monday will set the stage for a dramatic new love triangle in the weeks to come. 6. Detailed analysis. Why Monday is a turning point. The episode on January 12th is more than just a transition. It is a litmus test for the strength of the Dupree family. Spoilers for Monday show the writers diving deep into the psyches of the men in the show. Jacob and Andre are not just bystanders. They're silent warriors trying to keep the household from collapsing under the weight of medical and emotional trauma. Spoilers for Monday showcase a sharp contrast in how each character handles crisis. Nicole chooses to face it with pain. Cot chooses to run, and Dani chooses sacrifice. Moving the reveal of Nicole's positive marker to the start of the week is a bold move that accelerates the plot. Spoilers for Monday confirm that this battle is no longer just against cancer, but against the internal fractures within the family itself. 7. Summary and future predictions. By the end of Monday's episode, the audience will be left with a pulse-pounding cliffhanger. Spoilers for Monday suggest the final shot could involve Vernon standing alone in the rain, or perhaps a mysterious phone call that changes everything. The Dupree family is standing on the edge of a precipice, and every step they take now is fraught with danger. Spoilers for Monday promise a volatile week leading up to January 16. We will see Nicole researching preventative measures, the full introduction of Jordi Vilasuso's character, and the fallout from Ted and Shanice's New Year's Eve kiss. Keep your eyes glued to the screen, because Fairmont Crest will never be the same. Spoilers for Monday truly offer a rollercoaster of emotions for loyal fans. Do you think Nicole will find the strength to navigate this diagnosis? Will Cot change her mind and get tested to secure her future? And most importantly, what is the bad news that has Vernon so shaken? We'll find out this Monday. Part 2. We will learn about an emotional and eventful chapter that unfolds across families, friendships, and private battles, as love, denial, celebration, and fear all collide on Thursday, January 8, 2026. The day opens with Anita standing at the edge of a life-altering moment. On the eve of beginning chemotherapy, she decides to reclaim some control by planning what she calls her last great meal, not as an act of surrender, but as a declaration of joy. Cooking becomes symbolism. Each spice stirred into the pot is a reminder of normalcy, flavor, and comfort. Anita wants laughter at the table, full plates, and memories that taste good. Vernon, however, refuses to let the night stay light without acknowledging what lies ahead. When Anita casually insists she go into treatment alone, Vernon draws a firm line. His voice carries both fear and devotion when he tells her she doesn't get to face this by herself. For him, love means showing up in the hardest room, not waiting outside it. As if the weight of her own diagnosis weren't enough, Anita receives unexpected news. Her daughter's medical test results are coming in the very next day. Thanks to Vernon pulling a few strings through an all-professional connection, the timeline has been accelerated, but the cost is steep. Anita realizes she won't physically be able to be there for them when they find out. Rather than collapse into guilt, she pivots. She rushes out late at night, returning with bags full of brightly colored, feathered trinkets, small, joyful objects meant to distract, amuse, and remind her daughters of celebration rather than fear. It's a mother's instinct at its finest, transforming anxiety into color and motion. Elsewhere, distraction takes a more domestic form. Dani comes home to the comforting aroma of Italian pasta simmering on the stove, prepared lovingly by Andre. The gesture is sweet, even if she can't resist teasing him for borrowing the recipe straight from Joey's social media page. She jokes about the irony of a so-called dark, high-stakes gambling mogul maintaining a carefully curated Instagram presence. Still, gratitude softens her tone. Their playful banter shifts into intimacy, Dani joking that her husband must be a genie, capable of granting wishes when she least expects it. Andre, wooden spoon in hand, insists she taste the sauce, grounding their moment in something warm and real before the night drifts into private magic. At another household, tension simmers rather than settles. Tot is consumed by professional stress-delayed handbag production right in the middle of awards season threatens her brand's visibility. To her, the business crisis feels immediate and solvable, something she can control. Chelsea, however, sees things differently. Her focus is entirely on the family emergency, and she's furious that Cot seems emotionally unavailable. The argument escalates quickly, fueled by fear neither woman wants to name out loud. The idea of losing a sister is unbearable, and Chelsea lashes out because caring hurts. When Tomas walks in mid-argument, Chelsea urges him to step in and calm Cot down before leaving in frustration. Tomas approaches Cot gently, acknowledging both her professional worries and the unspoken terror behind them. He reassures her that he isn't going anywhere, even if everything else feels unstable. The dam finally breaks. Cot collapses into tears, confessing that she wishes just for a little while that everyone would let her pretend none of this is happening. Tomas holds her, offering silence instead of solutions, understanding that denial can sometimes be a form of survival. Around the city, smaller moments echoed the larger emotional themes. Carlton brings Nicole a stress ball, a simple, thoughtful gesture meant to release tension neither of them fully knows how to discuss. Martin and Smitty shared drinks, circling around concerns about Tyrell without directly naming their fears. In Uptown, Naomi opens up to Ashley, admitting that confidence is easy to project but much harder to feel when everything familiar starts to shake. As night falls, Vernon and Anita call to gather everyone together. The phone rings, unanswered, as Court chooses to stay with Tomas instead, unable to face the collective weight of family just yet. Still, one by one, the rest arrive home: Dani and Andre, Martin and Smitty, Chelsea, Nicole, Naomi at carrying their own worries through the door. Anita looks at them all and reminds them why this family has always drawn strength from its roots. New Orleans, she says, taught them how to celebrate through hardship, how to turn music into medicine and movement into hope. Inspired, they transform the living room into a spontaneous tribute to the city they love. Umbrellas open indoors, handkerchiefs wave through the air, bead necklaces are draped without ceremony. The second line dance begins not because it's the end, but because it's a moment worth honoring. Laughter mixes with tears as they parade into the kitchen, where gumbo simmers and king cake waits to be sliced. Anita raises her voice just long enough to acknowledge the truth. Tomorrow will be harder, but tonight belongs to gratitude. She looks at her children, her family, and declares that she already has more than most. She has all of them. Together, celebrating what still is.